Hi, everybody. I'm here for day number 24 of casing through the catalog. I'm excited about the card I have to show you today because as I'm playing with this product, I'm figuring out there's some cool details that I didn't realize were there. So I hope I can provide you some inspiration and learning, and that you will love this beautiful card that we're going to make today. So today I'm going to move this to my hands here. Hopefully you all got to watch my Boho Vibes class this morning. If not, scroll on down and take a look at that. That's my online class for the week. Casing through the catalog is just something extra I'm doing this month. Okay, so today's card comes from page 84. It's this middle card right here that is the basic beige. And this is a beautiful card. You're going to love it. The Extraordinary Flora bundle comes with this stamp set and this die. And I say die because it looks like it's a bunch of dies, but really it is just one solid die. And I'll show you that here in just a second. So the bundle of the stamp set and the die costs $43. The number on that is 165245. Okay. Extraordinary Flora. Now you can add on, which I 100% would tell you to do, the Extraordinary Flora washi tape. And I'm going to show you why here in just a second. But this die right here not only cuts out these images that are right here in the stamp set, but they also cut out the images that are in the washi tape. Such a cool thing. So I want to make sure you guys get a good look at this. Okay, so here is the stamp set. You get this die, which is not to scale. It's a little bit smaller. You get several sentiments, and you get this little background kind of hashtag mark there. So here's the actual size of the stamps, and lots of cool things you can do with this. I'm going to show you that in just a second. Now, this is the washi tape that I have laid on top of a piece of basic white. Now, I've also seen that people have put this on light colors like petal pink or soft seafoam, and it really gives a very cool effect as well. But something else, what else do you notice about this washi tape? I didn't know this until I actually rolled it out onto my basic white cardstock. Do you see how this section here is more pinks and greens and yellows? This section here is more purples and teal and yellow. So two different color schemes going on here. Hi, Marianne. Did you notice this, Marianne, about this washi tape? You get one section that's more pinks, and then you get one section that's more purples. So I didn't realize that until I rolled it out onto my piece of basic white here. Okay, so here is my washi tape, and I'm just going to show you. It's so easy. So you get a big roll like this. It is a little over 3 inches wide, like 3¼ inches wide. And it really is very easy. Now, I put a little piece of paper right here just so I wouldn't have to fight to get it unrolled. You guys know how that's like on packing tape or whatever. But really, you basically just have to roll it out and press it down. It would be really hard to cut this washi tape if it wasn't attached to a piece of cardstock. Now, it's very forgiving too. The wrinkles, you can just kind of press out. But even if they're there, it's going to just add some nice texture to it. So it is so cool. I agree, Marianne. I didn't realize it was two different colors until I really started playing with it today, and then I noticed that. Okay, so that's what you would do. I'm going to put this away for now because I have already placed some on here. So I'm going to use the pinks today for my project. So I'm just going to cut this pink panel out. And then I'm going to end up die cutting it here in just a second. There we go. I'm going to maybe even grab the smaller one here. Okay, so that's my washi tape on my basic white cardstock right there. Okay, we're going to come back to that. I'm also going to take the stamped image, and I have a piece of basic white that I think I just used for the washi tape. That wasn't very smart of me. Here, let me grab another one. That I am going to stamp that stamped image of the same flowers, but I'm going to stamp them in just black and white. Just going to cut a panel here, and I'm going to grab my foam mat because this is really good for photopolymer stamps. I'm going to ink up this these flowers in basic black, tuxedo black here. All right, so I'm inking this up. And when I have a really big stamp like this, I like to turn it over and put the ink on top of the stamp. So this is all basic black. I probably won't use all of those image. I say basic black, it's tuxedo black. We used to have a basic black. And then I'm just going to put this on my basic white here. Add a little pressure and lift it up. Pretty awesome, huh? Now, I'm not going to do anything else with that just right now. I'm going to come back and I'm going to die cut these out. But you can see it's the same images, right? But these are just black and white, and these are colored in the washi tape, okay? We will come back to that. Okay, so here we go. I want to get this out of the way so I don't put my hand in it. I have a piece of basic beige cardstock that is cut 7 inches by 6 inches, 7 by 6. And I have scored it down the middle at 3.5, right there, okay? Now, I'm gonna take that little hashtag image there, and I'm gonna stamp across the front with some Versamark. So I'm casing page, what did I say, 83, I think, of the catalog. I closed my book. Don't want to open it now. So I'm just going to add some of these hashtags, hash marks, not hashtags, just randomly down the front of my card base here. There we go. I'm going to grab my white embossing powder, and we're going to emboss those on the front of my card base here. Now, I usually have a spoon in my tub here, and I don't know why I don't right now. So this is just basic white embossing powder, or wow embossing powder. Not sure why it's called wow. Maybe that's the brand, actually. Okay, so now that I have added embossing powder to that card front, I'm going to bring in my heat gun, and I am going to heat that up. I need to put the lid on this before I dump it out onto everything. All right, so here is my heat gun. Oh my goodness, is it not plugged in? Okay, today is a comedy of errors. It's okay. I'm going to plug it in real quick, and we're going to be all okay. You know, best laid plans I had everything laying out here, but I guess I forgot to see if there we go. Embossing gun is plugged in. That could be an important step, huh? Okay, so here we go. I am going to heat this up. Just going to add a little contrast and dimension to the background of my card base here. And it does take just a second to get warm, but you can see those embossed parts are starting to turn from sandy to white. I think that's pretty good. Let me double check. If it looks rough at all in any of the sections, then you know you haven't heated it enough. But mine looked shiny all the way down there. Okay. Now, the next step in our casing the catalog card is that I've cut a banner using the banner dies. And I had someone say, I'm not sure I would use those for what they're worth, but sorry, there's powder on my work surface here. Okay, so I cut the fourth smallest banner here, and then I used the little notches. Let me grab these banners for you over here. So, right here, they're right in front of me. Here are banners, right? And I used the fourth largest banner. I said largest, smallest. 1, 2, 3, fourth smallest. So this is the size I used. And then I also used one of these circle, which really is used to put the holes in, cover the holes to add some reinforcement to it. But after I cut up my banner, I put one of those little holes right here and just partially cut it out. And what that's going to do, I thought this was a great idea on Stampin' Up's part. See, we learned something when we're casing through the catalog. Let me put this away. Is that it's going to provide a really nice notch to hold our linen thread. Something I would not have thought about. So, you know how sometimes you're trying to tie linen thread around a straight piece of paper and it just keeps wanting to slide off. Look, this notch is going to hold it right where we want it to be. I'm going to go around 3 times here, and then I'm going to tie it in a bow over here on the left side. All right. What I love about this card is that it's one of those that looks like, wow, look at all the die cutting they did. And they don't realize that it was really just one die 2 times, right? We're going to get a lot of pieces that are going to help us out with this card. Okay, so this is going to go right here on the front of our card. And I feel like it is pretty centered. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty centered. So I'm just going to add this, centered meaning right to left. I'm going to move it up just a tiny bit right there. And I'm going to add dimensionals to the back side of this. And adhere it to the front of my card base. So we only have 6 more days of casing through the catalog. Happy, sad. Doing double on my double Facebook days, it just feels like a lot, but it's been fun. Okay, now here are my 2 panels that I'm going to die cut. One is made with the washi tape, right? And one is just black and white. We're going to use both. So look, all I have to do is set this die. Look how cool that is. And it fits right on all of those pieces of that washi tape and gives us just a really nice burst of color. Hi, Sherry. So I'm going to run this through first, all the colored ones, okay? I might add a piece of Post-it note tape here. I've got one on my die cutting machine. Just to hold it in place for me while that goes through. Okay, so here we go. All of those pieces are just going to pop right out of there. Look at that. That's so fun. And then I'm going to pull this off of this one and run through with just my black and white pieces. So I'm going to line it all up. One stamp, one die, probably 15 flowers and leaves we're going to get from it. Okay, so I've got it all lined up. I'm going to go back to my machine off camera here and run that through. Okay, here we go. And all those pieces are just going to fall right out of there. And we have enough for this card and lots of future cards. I'll show you what I'm going to do with all my extra pieces here in just a second, okay? So I'm going to toss that away. And now, really, all I need to do is just take these pieces and decide how I want to kind of add them to this top edge of this piece right here, this banner. So let's see, I want a piece. I'm gonna look at all my colors here so I know what I want to choose from. Here we go. I'm gonna put this one kind of right up here, and you can put some on flat, you can pop them up. I think most of mine, I'm gonna use some minis on them. So here we go. This one's going to get popped up. This is going to be one of those cards that people are like, that's an amazing card. It's so beautiful. And you can feel so proud that you made it yourself. Okay, so this one, I think I want it to kind of go how? There's not really any wrong. Here we go. This one I'm going to do a little more flat. So let me grab my Seal Plus. I like having the different heights on all of these. So this one, I think I'm going to go this way with, but flat. And then one more, this one right here, I'm going to pop up right here. Okay, kind of right there. So I'm going to add some minis behind this. Let them overlap a little bit. That's fine. There we go. That one's going to go right there. Okay. And then I've got these black and white ones, and they're just going to kind of just peek out from under these colored ones, the washi tape ones. So I'm just going to let them kind of peek out from underneath here. One right there. Here's a little flower. there. And let's see what else. Maybe one more. Maybe kind of going this way here. What do you think? Yeah, I like that. Okay, it makes me wonder, yep. I was like, why isn't that sticking there? It's because I didn't take the sticky off the end. All right, and so these black and white ones are just kind of peeking out from under the colors. Just the pop right there. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm just going to stamp my sentiment. So I have a 1/2 inch piece of basic white here. And I'm going to stamp with love. Does that need, I think it needs one more little mini under there. There we go. That's better. Okay. I feel better about all of that. All right, so now I have this piece of basic white here, and I'm going to stamp with love in Mossy Meadow ink. I'm going to grab my Mossy Meadow. Stamp with love. Right like that. Okay, I'm going to cut this straight. And the way they did it is they just kind of tucked this under here. And I might need to cut a little bit more off this side here. Like that. Maybe even a little bit more, huh? Maybe I just need to tuck it under here like that. And it looks like they kind of just left it on there straight on this side. Okay. What do you think? That's the way they did it. So that's what I'm going to do. Yay! That sounds so much fun, Lisa. Congratulations. I'm all for crafting more, right? What about you? Here's to crafting more, right? Okay, there we go. With love. There's my little with love. So pretty simple little card. I think I made it look way more difficult than I had to. I'm going to cut this string just a tad there. And then I thought this was cool. They grabbed their muted dots. And just kind of sprinkled them all around. Extraordinary Flora is what I'm working with today. Whole bunch of these. Got one right there. I think they put like a lot of muted dots here. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I think I need to add some more black and white according to their little picture here. Here we go. So let's do that. Looks like, let me see, what do I have? Ooh, here's one. I'm gonna put one of these down here. Like it's kind of flowing off that banner, right? So pretty, I love it. And then, you know, we don't have to do just as many as they do, but I'm kind of trying to follow their lead here. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Maybe one more kind of right falling off of here, right? What do you think? I don't know how you could craft without an air conditioner, Lisa. I have air conditioning and it's still hot to me in here. So there we go. So pretty. Okay, so what I decided to do is grab a piece of basic white. And this piece is 3 1/4 by 5 3/4. And I thought it might be fun just to take some of these leftover pieces here and just add a few of them to the inside here. So maybe let's put this one on flat, these little leaves here. Maybe one more, kind of up here like this. And then I can take this bough and just set it right there, kind of on top of them. Kind of brings it all together, doesn't it? And for this, I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back. There we go. And then this is going to go right here on the inside. What do you think? So pretty, right? They didn't show to do that. I just thought that would be a nice touch for the inside. Then I would probably put these leftover pieces in an envelope and store them inside my stamp case here so that I have them handy when I need them again. So tell me what you think. I think it's gorgeous. I love it. And I hope you guys love it too. I'm going to sign off. I will be back here tomorrow. What does Lisa say? I have one in another room, but it doesn't do well. Yeah, I hear ya. We need to do everything we can to feel good about where we're crafting. All right, so here's my card. Here's the card that is in the catalog on page 83. I think I did a pretty good job of casing the card. Let's see here. So here's my card, and here's the card that's on page 83. So pretty. I hope I taught you some things about the washi tape and about this bundle that you might not have seen before. And I already know who I'm going to give this card to, someone I love. So God bless, and I'll see you back here at noon tomorrow. Okay? So God bless. I'll see you here. Bye-bye.